Greetings, good morning from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, we are definitely super excited to be here this morning. Prepared? What? The tech team has been working hard crafting video. We've got some great stuff today. We're going to be focusing, the show will be focused on post-season preparation, being ready. Of course, one of my high school associations, I've told this story before, has a playoff meeting. And at the playoff meeting, we're going to, talk about all of the things that we need to know to be playoff officials and how to approach the game, etc. And of course, my position is that the playoff meeting basically should happen at the beginning of the season, because we're not at this late date. We can't cram for late game play situation, rules adjudication, and what have you. We can't do it at the last minute. We're pretty much baked in with our approach to the game, because it's all based on our habits and fundamentals and rules knowledge and scenario situation evaluation and all of the things that we've got reps with during the season, so that when we get to the end of season, we are a relatively finished product. We have reps doing things, handling situations, etc. Right? So my strong belief is, if you are an official who wants to be a playoff official or is new to being a playoff official, is start developing your habits and fundamentals now, or not developing them, but just ensuring that they're developed. All of the things, all of the little things that you become habitual for you, so that when you get in playoff situations, in high scrutiny situations, high impact situations, the result of your decision is going to affect whether this team, their season is over or they're going to play another game. How do we prepare for that? Right? It's a long process of development, and we have to have that in place as basketball officials. So that's just the way it has to be. And we can't cram at the last minute and make these things happen. At the same time, we can look at play scenarios like we will today, where we will reinforce what are the necessary habits and fundamentals that we have to have and approach to the game. And that's what we're going to do today. It's our playoff prep-isode. See what I did there? Playoff prep and episode, and I put them together and call it a playoff prep-isode. Yeah. With the team here, we debated long and hard about that nomenclature. Yeah, that's what we came up with. I hope everyone took the under today, because we are ready to go from the beautiful state of California. Yes. Okay, what is going on around the country? Kamali Rowan early. Excellent. Adam C. canceled tonight. We are in section playoffs here in the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, and California. I did receive a letter. Fortunately, I will be officiating in the state tournament as well. Got a semifinal game. That's always up in the air, though. Things can change. I do not have a game tonight. I had 2 playoff games earlier this week. No game tonight. I have a game tomorrow. And then we'll see for next week. It's TBD. Patrick Weaver's in the house. 1 tonight, 4 tomorrow. Yes, and then plus next weekend, I got those big CYO playoff games. Hopefully I get the 3rd grade final, right? Actually, I love working those games. Randy Wilson, we've got a Randy Wilson play on the agenda today. Good to see you, Randy. Hey. Ice. Oh, Mark, in your absence, shame on you. Actually, we will refer to the word shame a little later in the broadcast. Shame on any official who does not. We'll have that. Good morning, Darwin Sonata. Go blue. Absolutely. Until we go green. What can I say? Oof. I don't envy you. Good morning, Dave Craig. Hope all is well with you and you are coping with your issues. Chris Janish. Chris, we got a couple of Chris plays right out of the chute. One of them is great, our first play. Oh. Clear the gym? Come on, man. I guess schools need revenue. All right. So what we have to take a time here and address. We obviously have a situation here, and it is my hair again. I got to get a haircut before the staycase. Adam C. There we are. We are balanced. Go green. Yes. Did anybody actually take the over? Is there any past performance that would lead one? Martin Tim, good to see you. Uh-oh. All right. The South Dakota contingent is in the house, dominating. Good to see you, Jesse. And Darwin, very, very, very good advice. Let's all hit the like button right now. Amplify. I only got 10 likes. What? Oh, there's only 39 people watching. As usual, yes. Yes, we are. In overtime, he teed the coach. Excellent, Jason. Glad you got that game. Conference championship, overtime. That's when we want to be at our best, doing all of the things, right? Using all of our skills, etc. Sometimes the game rises to the level that it needs all of our skills. Sometimes the game, sometimes those games are just easy, right? The teams present the way that they play the game are easy on us. We have to recognize that. We're not putting a lot of this, teams not running a great offense, and they always end up at the last minute going to the basket, lots of block charge plays, decision making, etc. And sometimes teams just run their offense, they're patient and execute, and we just have to recognize the game that we have. Oy, oy, oy. Wow. Northern Lights. -14 for Mike up in Alaska. I don't know how to interpret that. Yes, Wednesday music is absolutely different and longer. It's like 4-minute. It's a 4-minute intro on Friday. I like that better. When I'm doing the Wednesday show, that intro music ends quick. Yeah, I say let's put that on the bucket list. Northern Light viewing. Toledo, Ohio is in the house. Girls tournament. I did not blow my whistle. And the usual taunt from the southern quadrant. Mike Connors is in the house. It seems like it's always 75 degrees, Mike. Is that an evergreen comment? Aaron Bender from Wisconsin. We may have a controversial Wisconsin situation, which, yes, we may, Aaron. Excellent. So, Aaron, ending your second year, I would assume we're not getting playoffs at that point. It's not a guaranteed, right? But we're preparing to be that official who can handle those games, etc. I hope your season's going well, and appreciate you joining and appreciate the feedback. That's obviously great to hear from me. Billy Mack is in the house from Connecticut. Huh. Okay. All right. Is that against the norm? I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. Yes. Well, if Billy Mack, if you are available for a mid afternoon game, you are the assigner's best friend. I often say that. If you are an assigner and you have an official who's available mid afternoon, they are, you are sending them candy and all of the games. All right. Florida is coming to an end. Well, occasionally we'll get flocks of turkey here in sort of the outlying areas of the Bay Area. Turkeys, slowly moving across. An occasional deer sighting. Yeah, yeah. So this part of the year we start to see differential in different states. Did I put something together? Wait, did I miss Jessica? I did not see that. Kelly Hefner's in the house, North Carolina. Good to see you. Leitner's in from Indiana. Chris, I always say Leitner. Leitner, I always say Leitner. It's Chris Leitner, right? I cannot remember. At the spur of the moment, let me know in the chat. I will fess up if I'm wrong. Do I have an option? Kenan Fort is in the house. Good to see you. Aaron Wall. Do we have an Aaron Wall play? We may, as a bonus play. Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously all of those things need to be reviewed. But like I said, at my meeting, the person leading the meeting said, and Greg, I'd like you to talk to the officials about where they can find things in the rules book and rules. And my advice to everybody was, it's too late. It's too late. You're not going to change your rules knowledge between now and next Friday. All right, we can obviously get into the case book. Right, that would be a great place to start if we want to review some stuff. But yeah. Casey is in the house from Kansas. 3 games tonight. 3 games. Come on now, that's a lot. All right. Aaron, excellent. We get some low temperatures in Phoenix every now and then. Is Phoenix not? Phoenix is not high desert. Phoenix is desert. Is that right? Oy. And Joe Kenke in the house. Humboldt. Paul Sullivan sighting. Good to see you, Paul. Lighter. Now we know. I can remember Clarence. Yes, I do remember Clarence, a great mentor of mine here in the Bay Area. And, of course, the hero of It's a Wonderful Life. Good to see you. Awesome. Okay. And with that... Bruh. We will move past the soundboard and get ready to do this show. Do I have all the things prepared? I think I do. I'm confident. Of course, sometimes we're confident leaving the locker room. Sometimes. And the Zooch in the house. Awesome. Phil Haddad, good to see you. All right. It's crunch time. Playoffs are upon us. We have to get things right. Let's look at play scenarios today to get us better for playoff action. Let's go. Stick around. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to 5 Play Friday. Let's do it. Let's get started right away with a You Make the Call play. What do you have on this play? Let's take a look at play number 1. All right, what do you have on this play? Call correct, call incorrect, make your ruling, put it in the comments below. Offensive foul, defensive foul, no call, call correct, call incorrect. What do you have on this play? And stick around to the end of the video. You know we're going to go over all of the things regarding play 1 at the end of the show today, but let's move on now to play number 2. All right, throw in play. Hey, thanks for joining us today for 5 Play Friday. I'm Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. One of the ways we do that is we look at plays and look at all of the things. We've got a great play submission here from Chris Janish. End of game situation. We see by the scoreboard that our home team, our visitors rather, are who's ahead? Who's ahead in this game? Let's take a look. The Hawks are the home team. The Hawks are trailing by 9. Oftentimes in end-of-game situations, what is our approach? Don't miss anything on the team that is ahead, right? Don't give fuel to our opponents in a situation like this. Now, this is after a throw-in. Obviously, our administering official indicates the players can move along the end line. Player legally steps out of bounds. Their defender follows them and clearly violates the throw-in plane, right? The official maintains a count, right, properly, great timing on the count, etc. But what should have been our ruling on this play? We have an obvious violation by the home team, ahead by 9, late game situation, right? There's a lot to process, though, on a play like this. We've got players stepping out of bounds. That's legal, etc., right? We're making decisions. Are we going to take away an advantage that the throwing team has in this situation by ruling or issuing a delay of game warning for violating the boundary plane? There's a lot to process. In the end, though, we end up with a violation against the throwing team in a situation where we could have stopped the play and issued a delay of game warning on the opponent, right? This player legally steps out of bounds. Their opponent follows them instinctively, but violates the boundary plane in doing so. And this would result in a delay of game warning for that team. Decision is made, to ignore that violation. Sometimes we make decisions to, a defender has a loose hand that's over the boundary plane. We deem it to be not consequential enough to assess a delay of game warning. But when in the end we end up with a violation on the throwing team, then maybe we can have some regrets about our decision in that instance. And we can always come late in a situation like this, right? I see the player step out of bounds. I maintain my count. I'm processing the situation, etc. We can always come late and say, hey, wait a minute, delay of game warning, violation of the boundary plane. Put it in the book. If that team had previously been given a warning for delay, of course, this would result in a team technical foul, and our team that's down 9 would have an opportunity to amend the situation. Did I get that right? Yeah. Okay, so a great play submission from Chris Janish. Appreciate that. Yeah, wait a minute. I screwed something up. All right, what do you think about this play? Yeah, I appreciate the fact that Chris submitted 2 plays that, it's like, is this from the highlight reel, or is this from the, there's stuff on here, right? Hello, Rick Watson. Good to see you. Virginia is in the house. I know everybody wants to talk about play number 1. Right? And so this is, like I say, what I can really appreciate about this play is the processing that's going on. Are we going to react to the player stepping out of bounds? Or are we going to, we got a lot going on, right? In all of these throw-in situations, we're evaluating a number of things, and it's not going to be necessarily obvious. Like if we just had a single thrower and our defensive player, made the same action, jumped towards them and stepped 6 inches out of bounds, easy peasy. We're going to make that call almost every time, I think. Right? In this situation, there's a lot of processing going on related to the other things that are occurring on the play, maintaining the count, etc., making a judgment. Is this the thing that we need to put a whistle on in this situation? In the end, though, I would hope that again, when we look at these plays like this, we recognize the situation. If I'm in that situation, I'm going to come late, even if it is at the 5-second mark. I'm going to come late and say, that delay of game violation, delay of game warning in this situation for that action by that defender. I'm going to come late with that, hopefully, right? It's easy when we watch other people's video in slow motion. It's like, well, I would have had that, right? But yes, that is what we would hope for. Brad Williams, good to see you. Billy, you have accomplished your work for the day. Dr. Phil is in the house. That is a delay of game warning, right? I don't know if one had been issued previously, if we're processing whether, or not this rises to the level of a technical foul. Chris says, you try to use good judgment, and in the end, you are shaking your head because it ends up, right? I'd say, Chris, obviously, in the end, right, we've compounded our no call, right? So let's say we have this situation and the player releases a ball to a streaking player at the other end, layup, and we're like, I'm glad I did not put a whistle on that play. right? My takeaway here is just I give myself permission to come late, even though it's, of course, it seems like forever. It seems like, 2 seconds in this situation seems like an eternity. Can I possibly come back with a delay of game warning, right? But if we give ourselves that permission to get the play right, we can always come out of this situation. And when we do that, we're going to own it, right? We're going to get negative energy. Oh, you too late. That's late, or whatever. But yes. Oh, I got it. Oh, I would not leave that up to another official to come get that, right? I would, yeah. That is a taunt if ever I've heard one. No, we were very timely today, Greg. Very timely. Yeah, that's... Well, Phil asks, why not call a delay of game right away? Again, we're processing a lot of things. A lot of things are going on in our head here, right? We've got our count going, and it's we want that to be metronomic. We want that to be habitual. We want that to be uninterrupted, right? But we recognize what we have is this player coming out of bounds. And then the defender follows them. It's not something we see all the time, right? And I would say within a second or two, we're going to make a decision about the play. But certainly before we get to 5, or even as we get to 5, we want to give ourselves that permission again. Do we want a reaction whistle in this situation, or do we want a decision about whether to assess a delay of game warning, right? We don't want reaction whistles in this situation, I would say. Late is okay. Yeah, as a young official, if you're to give yourself permission and get reps doing it, get reps with a late call in any fashion, whether it's delay of game warning in this situation, it's a late ruling on a traveling violation, it's a late ruling on a backcourt violation, all of these things, and get reps doing that and give yourself that permission to get the play right. Not sure which video, but let's say, all right, a great video from Chris Janish. Right. Another great video submission from Chris. Another great video submission from Chris Janish. Much appreciated. And key takeaway here is giving ourselves permission to come late with an accurate ruling after we're doing in any situation where we're processing multiple things simultaneously to get plays right. That's what it's all about. And let's move on to our next play. All right. Obviously, end of game situation, final seconds. Trailing home team home team has fouls to give and attempts to take foul in an effort to exhaust clock. Lead official from out of primary comes and puts a whistle on the play. Shooting foul is ruled. Lots of finger pointing and consternation from the team that employed the strategy of doing a take foul ahead in this situation. A great chance to review all of the things. Okay, first of all, we have to recognize time and score in our games. Time and score. What do we expect possible strategies to be on the court? Don't let this situation surprise us, right? If we were coming out of a timeout somewhere in advance, a strategy that a team can use is to do a take foul to intentionally foul the opponent within the rule set legally. Do a take foul in an effort to exhaust clock. Right? We want to have that knowledge going in, and when they employ that strategy, to respond to it immediately. This player is attempting to foul this player intentionally. Not an intentional foul, but within the case play and the explanation from National Federation of High School, fouling is an accepted strategy. And in this situation, we should have had a hand check foul for the initial contact on the play. If we take a look at that, if it surprises us, again, we can come late. But let's take a look at the initial foul. That is a take foul by rule, right? This is illegal contact. This does not an intentional foul. There's no unnecessary excessive contact, etc. This is acceptable. Right? If you felt that something untoward had happened, then we could potentially have a intentional foul. If you felt there was, they grabbed a jersey or pushed from behind or something like this, we should have a whistle from the center at this point. We do not. And our lead official from very far away then sees the hold on the release of the try and rules a shooting foul. Our officials come together. There's some communication between the officials, but the lead official accepts no information and rules this to be a shooting foul in this situation. And then we have lots of coach behavior to deal with after the fact as well. I think what the bottom line is, this strategy decision by our team caught our crew off guard. And we have to be ready in these situations, anticipating possible strategy, the way strategy is utilized by teams. If teams have fouls to give in closing second situations, they may foul in an effort to exhaust clock and basically extinguish the game by doing so. Even if we did rule a hand check foul here, we would expect on the subsequent play, when they still have a foul to give, that they would potentially employ that strategy as well. Something we obviously see at other levels utilized all the time. I don't think we do a great job here of getting our offended team back into their coaching box. By going face-to-face with them, we potentially create a situation where they could compound the problem, etc. Don't know the final result of this game, but right. Hold on one second. Don't know the final result of this situation, but we should have had a hand check foul here, sideline throw into the opponent. If you are the non-calling official in this situation, you have to fight for the correct ruling in this situation. We have an opportunity to fight for that. and we have to, right? It's like I did not have that was a hand check foul, etc., and not leave it up to the lead. If you are the lead official in this situation, you have to trust your partner. Maybe come later with an obvious foul ruling, but we don't want to reach for that in this situation. Kind of screwed that up. Randy's got the play situation, right? And this can catch us off guard, right? This is one of the things that we have to talk about when, as the end of game approaches. We would assume that there were opportunities to have that discussion, right? Let's be aware that White has fouls to give. They are ahead. There is time is running out. A natural strategy is for them to use take fouls to exhaust and extinguish the clock. Motown is here. Good to see you. Wait a minute. Okay. Wait, let's see. All right. Lance, I have heard about that approach. Yes, and we want to get, Greg, referring to late whistles, we want to get used to that process. I put a whistle on a play late. It was the correct ruling. I processed, I made the decision, and then I get the glorious feedback from fans, players, and those adjacent to the game, and I get used to that. I'm expecting that. I'm familiar with that. I'm comfortable with that. I will own that. It's all good. Oh, huh. I don't know if it was on my end. I haven't seen any glitches. There's Jessica in the house. Good to see you. Well, so we're going to have a play later in the game where we are going to have an official who makes a ruling and accepts information from a partner. How do we want to be in this situation? Are we putting the game ahead of the crew, ahead of ourselves in this situation? If I'm the lead and for whatever reason I put a whistle on this play because my partner did not, and my partner says she was not shooting, right? Am I going to take that information? We had that famous play from last season where a player brought the ball into the front court, picked the ball up to call a timeout. Everybody knew it was a timeout situation. They wanted the ball in the front court for a front court throw-in, and the trail official ruled a traveling violation, and the team had no opportunity to correct. Of course, remember Eric Lewis's counsel in this situation, why we have to throw strikes here and get these plays right is the team has no opportunity to correct a mistake on our part as a crew. The lead called a shooting foul. Was it a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer? Let's see. We'd need to know that on this play. Oh, was it or not? I don't even know. Was it a 3-pointer? Would it have been a 3-pointer, rather? Let's take a look. It's a 2. Oh, wow. Aaron's not a fan. Center, rather. It was 3-person game, Phil. Right, except it's the team that's ahead Aaron, that is using the take foul in an effort to exhaust time. That can surprise us as a crew. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I thought they were just going to play good defense, etc. Absolutely. Right. So again, when we're talking about late game situation, this is obviously a late game situation where we have to be great. But when we're talking about late game situations, when are we going to start exercising all of our communication skills as a crew, habits and fundamentals, getting together, talking about strategy options, what we expect, best player, best shooter, what they might try to do to get her open, etc. The team that's ahead in this situation has fouls to give. If they attempt a take foul, let's get a whistle right away. When we have a situation where a team is trailing and we expect a steal and foul, give them the opportunity to make the steal. But if they are obviously attempting a take foul, put a whistle on the play immediately. Don't make them come back for more and a harder foul that may rise to a different level. Anticipating strategies that may be used and things in our game, right? When can we start working on that? You know, that preseason scrimmage you have the first game next year, that's a great time to start that, right? Getting comfortable with having those discussions, not leaving anything on the table, getting used to having an extended discussion in a timeout prior to this situation, thinking of all of the things, maybe helping a partner out, recognizing, hey, we might have a take foul in this situation. Again, it's not a strategy we see every day, but if we see it here, we can be aware of it in our game, in our very next game situation. All right, so Randy says Black made both their free throws in this situation. No technical foul, right? So, right. We can learn something from this play scenario. Lance likes to ask, but we don't always, right? So we go into the huddle, and let's say it was a 60-second timeout that preceded this play. There, we go, we get the teams out of the huddle. Hey, first horn, coach, what are we doing here? Hey, we're going to do a take foul as soon as they inbound the ball, right? Or whatever. They may give you that information. They may not. Now, you know that information. Your crew is across the court, right? That doesn't always give us that opportunity, right? We can give them a little signal. Yeah. Chris says be supportive of the crew. Yeah, the trail on this play does do some good things about getting in between and trying to protect their partner. I would be more assertive. I need you in your bench area, right? I need you at least in your bench area. And when the timeout occurs, I need everybody in the bench area, right? These assistant coaches coming in and pointing is not a thing. I understand that the coach may be upset. I'm going to give them some ear as I walk them back to their bench area, right? But is the calling official going to be the one who does that, or a non-calling official? I'd say our trail does some good things here, right? Saying, but a little passive, right? I would be stepping in here quickly, right, and saying, I need everybody back, in a strong directive voice. And I'd be walking them back as well. I need you in your bench area. Timeout area. Right. I think the situation was the center official did not anticipate the team employing this strategy and was surprised. Agreed. Agreed, Billy. Yeah, we have a little disarray on the court here as well. So a question would be, if you are the center official on this play, right, and your partner comes with the whistle, what language are we going to? First, what behavior are we going to use? Because we didn't have a foul ourselves, right? If we employ a strategy of the languages, she was fouled before the shot. She was fouled before the shot. A declarative statement. She was fouled before the shot. You might have seen the tail end of it, but she was fouled before the shot. And we can fight for that. This is a situation where everybody knows. Sue Mahakian is in the house. And Sue reiterates my point as well. Specific as possible. There's no, I think maybe she was this. No, right? Because we want to correct our game is about to take a turn in the wrong direction. And how can we prevent that as the non-calling official here? Partner, I was coming late. She was fouled before the shot. It was not shooting foul. Fouled before the shot. The contact occurred before the shooting motion began. Anything we could say specifically that can get our calling official. And now you're the calling official on this play. Are you accepting that information or are you not accepting that information? Are you putting the game ahead of the crew, ahead of yourself? The game says this is a common foul and she should not be shooting. Yep, we would expect that situation. All right. The chat is lit. Brett is in the house. Good to see you, Brett. Jared in the house. This quick clip was a Randy Wilson extravaganza. I'm sure it was a... Fouling in the game is an accepted coaching strategy. Absolutely. All right. Okay, let's see what kind of transition I've screwed up. All right, a great play scenario to help us understanding late game strategy, anticipating things, when things attempt to go sideways, how we could possibly communicate as a crew so we can keep things on the straight and narrow and get plays right. We want to be distinct and strong with our communication as non-calling official. We want to be receptive as the calling official so that we can get plays right when our mistakes could have an impact on a team that has no ability to correct from that mistake because it occurs so late in the game. All right, moving on now. Our next play.
That'll be next Friday. They get a bye the first one.
Yeah, regional semifinal.
Inbound to Weezy. Now Strebler back to Weezy. Strebler, 20 seconds left. Meyer, inside Lopez. Lopez lost the handle on it. Gets it back inside. Healy with a foul on Moyer. And they'll put Healy at the free throw line.
Yeah. Probably
I thought it was Healy, but they've got Strebler.
Oh, wow. I thought I seen 21 with the ball.
I thought 21 was the guy that was shooting the ball. They got Strevler at the line, but that was not Strevler who was shooting that ball.
That was Healy. You know, you're talking 83% versus.
Oh my goodness,
33%.
they've got Strevler at the free throw line. He wasn't the guy shooting.
That is a mistake right there. That is a bad mistake.
They lined up with Strevler, hoping they could fool the officials, and they did. And Strevler at the line. Wow. That should not be. I'm surprised they didn't protest that.
Now I realize they both have.
Misses, rebound Brown. 12 seconds, 10.
Coach Geyer got to call timeout. Hazer
in the corner for three. Oh, Boyer trying to get the rebound. He fouled out. Boyer. Second one is good. 4 seconds left. Brown will take the ball up. Brown will stop and shoot. Off the rim, no good. And Kobe hangs on and will win the Eastern Quarter Belt Conference.
Wow.
All right, drama in Wisconsin. 18-minute halves, 2 halves. This is the end of the game situation. We have a situation where we have an unsporting action by the team, by a player on the team who, knowing that they had not been fouled on the play, directs the player who was fouled to take a position on the lane. I'm a better free throw shooter than you. Our crew does not recognize. There's a murmur. There's energy from the players. No, that's the wrong player. You've made this wrong choice. The lead official does a good job recognizing, hey, wait a minute, I'm not sure. Goes to the calling official. We do not come out of this with a correct adjudication on this play. We allow the wrong player to attempt the merited free throws in this situation. How could we handle better, right? We have a definite unsporting action in this instance, and our crew does not know. Now, it's really easy to say, oh, well, we always know who our shooter is, etc. But habits and fundamentals, and we know, as we talk about on this show all the time, in free throw situations, sometimes there's a momentary disconnect from the game, and we are taking a little me time where we're unsure. Oh, wait a minute, I wasn't even thinking about that situation, right? So habits and fundamentals, right? As the non-calling official, I got your shooter, 21's our shooter, etc., doing something habitual in this situation. Looked like the foul, the actual foul call. It's interesting. It's not a thing. A foul was ruled. The key takeaway here is we have this unsporting action by this player. Now, for me personally, if this situation occurs where this player, 31, directs their teammate to, no, I'll shoot the free throws. If I observe that, how are we going to handle this situation in this? That is an obvious unsporting action. They have not attempted the free throws, but they are working to circumvent the rules and gain an advantage not intended by rule. The rule itself for a player technical foul is to attempt a free throws that were not due for you to be attempted. What's the exact ruling? Let's look at the exact language and how we would potentially handle this. Player technical foul 10-4-6.f, faking being fouled, comma, knowingly attempting a free throw or accepting a foul to which the player was not entitled. Do we have to wait? If I observe this player taking this action, of course I would say, no, we're going to fix it. But this is an obvious unsporting action by this player. Are we going to not penalize? Are we going to lay in wait and allow the ball to be bounced to them, and as soon as they release, then we're going to assess a technical foul? I don't know how we're going to how we would go about correcting this and assessing a foul in this situation, but it's a great opportunity for us to observe our habits and fundamentals at the end of game scenario, right? In the absence of habits and fundamentals in this situation, we allow this player to take this action, and we don't observe it as a crew, as a three-person crew. And you have to ask yourself, if this was my game, would I have recognized this situation? Or in this situation, are there opportunities? Do I get distracted, think about things, follow the ball, turn and report? As center, I'm looking at the clock, I'm checking team fouls. Am I aware of what just happened on the court? Am I taking a specific action? Green 21's our shooter. 21's a shooter, right? I got your shooter. Whatever habitual action that tags us in that moment. And then if we are in a situation where this occurs in our game and the players say, that's the wrong guy. This has happened to me, certainly. That's the wrong guy. Hey, is that the right guy? Right? Let's get the other partners in there as well. You know, we're about to make potentially a critical mistake in the game. Are we going to just, you know, are in this situation, are we defiant or certain when we're not really certain? Or are we willing to take feedback, information from other sources? We've got a crew of 3, a table crew, right? Who potentially could become involved as well. We have an opportunity to fix here. The players, the game is telling us, hey, ref, you're making a mistake. We're not having a coach come in and say, I want to request a timeout to prevent a correctable error situation before it happens. We don't have that. We don't know if they had timeouts available. But in this situation, we want to listen to that voice. We want to listen to the game telling us, hey, ref, you're about to make a mistake. And do everything we can in this situation to try to get the play right. Oh, I know. Oh, what a mess. Oh, Joe Rasa in the house. Good to see you, Joe. Do we have a Joe Rasa play? Maybe as a bonus play. Man, we're using up time today. This is a long clip. I'm sorry for that. I tried to keep it all together just to, you know, show the breadth of the play. I may do some editing after the fact. Right. And so Mike, if you observe this action, this player is taking an intentional unsporting action prior to the free throws being administered. If you see this scenario, are you assessing a technical foul immediately and directly, or are you waiting, or are you fixing? Right? Those are like the 3 scenarios. No, you're not. I apologize for that. The pre-show checklist was not attended to, right? So that's really the key question for me my instinct is always fix. No, we're not going to let you do that. But this is such an obvious unsporting act, right? That I think if I saw this, especially having observed it now a couple of times, there was a play on a Facebook group, very similar, where it's an intentional action by a better shooting free thrower to take this action. Would we assess this technical foul in a tie game or a 1-point game in this situation? Boy, it'd be really great to think our strategy through in advance so that when it comes up in our game. Yes. Mike's going with a direct tee right away. I'm going to tee anybody who doesn't fill this up for me as soon as possible. That's all I'm saying. Smart strategy. Ouch. Well, it is a strategy. If you can do it successfully, let's put it that way. So if we did assess the technical, we would allow 21 to attempt their merited free throws with the lane cleared, and then we would assess the or administer the. Yeah, that gray wall. Tom, it was an intentional act. Clarence has deceitful unsporting. The rules book would say player technical in this situation. It would not rise to the level of flagrant. By rule, so Mike, I haven't seen subsequently, but Mike, in a perfect world, how would you handle this situation? You're the center and you realize what's going on. Lost Lake is in the house. Good to see you. They do have a skin tone that is probably not uncommon in Wisconsin, a bit on the pasty side, but yeah, they are similar in features. They share a common digit. Getting confused or not recognizing is certainly, if I see this and I say to myself, each and every time, as the lead official, I would get this correct. Can I say that? Each and every time? Are there times in games where I'm looking, let's see what the lead, we don't see the center, but let's watch what the lead official is looking at in this situation. A foul is ruled. Players come together. I'm looking at my partner to see what they have. We don't see who they reported it on. Was it which of the players, etc.? Do I do that in my game? At times, right? I mean, who amongst us? Lance says, let him shoot one. Right? That would be really calculated. I think that is what I would do. I would, because we know that we're going to cancel an erroneous, right? So let's say we allow the deceptive player to attempt the free throw that was not merited and that it was an intentional act on their part. We allow them to attempt one. We blow the whistle while the ball is in flight. The ball goes in the goal. We're going to cancel that because it is the wrong player attempting a merited free throw. We're going to assess a technical foul. We're going to clear the lane. We're going to do a lot of communication with coaches. We're going to do a lot of communication with our partners prior, and then we would move on from there. So Rick also points out, at the spot of the foul, Well, at the spot of the foul, I'm announcing who the foul was on. I'm not usually saying 21's our shooter, but should I? Right? I got a foul, white 20, that's yours. 21's our shooter. Am I doing that as the calling official? If I'm doing that as a habit and fundamental, we're in great shape. Because I've verbalized the words, right? The words have come out of my mouth. Whether my partners recognize it or not, I've said green 21, shooter. I'm going to be able to remember that even in a confusing situation. Our table may have had information here. Obviously, our announcers were well aware in this situation of who the foul was on, right? And our table could as well. Even if you are so you're the calling official and your partner says, hey, wait a minute, do we have the right shooter? And we come in and our first reaction is, I'm right, we're not fixing. Or are we open to the possibility? Sean, this is definitely on the crew. What do I owe us a roundabout? Oh. Wait a minute. Yes. Well, I tell you, Ted, it's a strategic decision on my part to keep that ringtone because for a number of reasons, but basically, yeah, it's a strategic decision on my part. Good morning, Dave. All right. Snow in the driveway. Wow. 100. Huh. So around here, if players are not part of the school, I think they can still play if they're within the school district. If there are some, there's some charter schools within public schools, and players are allowed to play on the team. But that's interesting. A homeschool tournament. Wow. That's in Michigan. Betsy DeVos State. Mike says whack immediately and directly, and also hit the like button. Let's do it. We got 32 likes. Oh, and we got 1 dislike. Excellent. I think YouTube likes that. It shows active engagement. This was absolutely premeditated by Green. All right. So that is a great play and a long one. And for our live stream viewers, my next one is long as well. What do I want to do? I want to go here. All right, a lot of great takeaways from that play about habits and fundamentals. Getting plays right at the end of the game. That's where it's all about. Let's look at our next play, which will be an end of game scenario and getting plays right. Let's take a look. Play number 5. All right, great end of game situation, crew communication, getting a play right. This is the things we love to see. First of all, let's start with this free throw situation. There's 10.4 on the clock. The inset is actually erroneous. We have a violation ruled by the calling official. The crew is about to inbound the ball, and then the table blows a horn and says, hey, wait, we think may have a timing mistake. Do we have the number in this situation? We always have to have the number in this situation. Prior to any free throw, any stoppage here at the end of the game, we have to have that number. And we have to recognize in this situation, we don't really have a very, the calling official doesn't come in super strong to fix, to stop play on the throw-in violation. But that's point number one. We have a last-second shot. Player's very close. One official says, that's a 2. One official scores the goal. We don't stop play and allow the resulting throw-in to occur. Hand check and then foul. That's what I have on this play, right? And then our crew gets together. Look at the dynamic of the crew as they get together. The official who is accepting information, right, who indicated a 2, is doing a lot of this, right? This is great work as a crew. We come out of it. We make a distinct ruling. We are going to score that goal as a 3-point goal, and this official then reports their foul. We are going to go to the other end, right? This is a great example of, first of all, an official who was not in a strong position. First of all, the center official is fighting hard to indicate that it is a 2, but they obviously don't have the look that's necessary. And our trail official, recognizing that this is the game, right? In this moment where this shooter is this is the game. This is what it's all about. We have to get this play right. And has a look at the feet in the situation, rules it a 3. That is called correct, as we see on the replay. And this is what we have to do. You cannot be the official who, well, whose call is this? This is the center official's call. And they made a call, and I'm going to trust my partner, right? That's a great mindset to have, but I have definite knowledge that the call, their ruling would have been incorrect. Am I going to just own that and take that with me to the locker room and say, actually, he was behind the line? Or are we going to fight for it? He was behind the line. That is a 3-point goal. Definitely behind the line, right? And we do have that mindset when we go into situations like this. We're going to fix plays that we could potentially be making an erroneous ruling on. If we are the official in this instance who's indicating 2, and your partner comes and provides information, what is our mindset when they come with this information? No, I ruled it a 2. We are going to stay with a 2, or he was definitely behind. I didn't have that great a look. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's get that right. I agree with you 100%. If you had it behind, I trust your look on that play. I did not have the look. Based on what I had, that's what my ruling would have been. And accept that information, right? We want to get plays right. So, in this scenario, a lot of great stuff. First of all, we start with the free throw itself. We have a violation. The clock should not have started on a free throw violation. The clock should never start. And we get saved by our table here, who blows a horn and says, hey, ref, I think we've made a mistake. We would have to own that and make that correction prior to the table informing us. And we have to have that number, 10.4. We were obviously coming out of a timeout here. That number is going to be in the book if we had become disconnected from it. The timer, the scorer rather, is going to put 10.4 seconds as on the timeout and stamp that. We can always access that information, but we have to have that number. You have to have numbers in late game situations, first of all, right? We got a transition play. Our trail does a great job of hustling and getting there for the look. It's a little bit clouded, but they have a look at the feet. If we were center on this play, could we have improved our look? Let's take a look. Yeah, Yeah, we were a little slow getting up the court as center on this play. We would want to be at least here rather, observing. This first defender is going to belong to the trail. We want to pick up anything here. There's obviously some screening action here that does it rise to the level, etc., for us to look at. Don't feel that that's a key thing on the play. And in the end, we don't have a great look as center on the play. A question would arise, if you are the trail here and the ball goes in, do we withhold that information and see what happens on the resulting throw-in? Because our information is going to affect what the strategy would be of the opponent in this situation. Right? We're down by 3. A 3-point goal ties the score. If we put a whistle on it immediately as the trail official and say, wait a minute, I'm going to blow this dead so we can get this ruling correct, because that's going to affect what the strategy would be for the opponent. Would they do a take foul in this situation if they knew that the score was tied? Boy, going to have to do some quick processing in that situation. Not an easy decision to make. Would have been better for the game in this situation. I think it would have gone to overtime. But key takeaways are having information, fighting for the correct call on a play, as the official responsible in this situation for having a last second shot in their primary, indicating the two, accepting that information so that we get the play right. But that is quite a play scenario. All right. That is not obvious from the first viewing. It's not obvious. This is NFHS video. Fortunately, you see at the end of the video, it goes all pixelated. So you can never trust what you're going to get from NFHS. But it's a clear look, and it was definitely a 3. We do have a 4th. The ball appears. Joe, it's awesome. It's awesome and hot. We really, in this situation, cannot trust our on-screen assets. Adam says, in that situation, I don't think we should stop play. We give the team an advantage. Discuss at the next dead ball. How much time do you think we had in this situation? Actually, I didn't actually pay too close attention. 4.4. We never see the clock in the video. Yeah, if there were 4 seconds, we definitely would have given one of the teams an advantage. But did we really put them at a disadvantage by not stopping and them thinking that they were in a different strategic situation where they're obviously going to give a take foul that they would not give? I don't have clear answers here. I don't have clear answers. This is really a dilemma situation for me as to what's the best way to handle this situation, because they think, well, would that defender, I mean, if the coach, let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know what was up on the scoreboard. We see our coach reacting. They're not telling their team to foul. The bench is indicating a 3, like maybe they perceived it to be a 3. I can't tell from the scoreboard whether the scoreboard said 61-61 or 61-60. But the bench certainly thought the score was tied. Huh. So in that situation, oh boy. What a mess. What a mess, or what a challenge to do everything correct here. Lance, you are seeing things, and it's not super high quality video. Pete's a little behind in the stream. Definitely. It seems as though what happened on the court, I did not perceive this when I first watched the clip, or did my extensive editing. Did I do it? Or did my elite tech team do it? Only Memorex knows. It seems as though the perception in the game was to score it as a 3-point goal. So it was really the responsibility of the opponent who intentionally fouls in that situation to get it right. We didn't have an erroneous ruling on the court. We had potentially confusion between the crew. Peter Roscoe's here, all right. If we stop play, we're going to definitely have to have a number on the clock. Trail scored it as a 3. I don't think they marked it. The monitor can be used in a state tournament final by NFHS rule only for whether a last-second shot is released in time. Not in this situation. We're not going to review whether it's a 2 or a 3 like we would at other levels. So it's a really minuscule opportunity to make a review in National Federation of High School Basketball rules. All right. All right, a great play scenario for review, end of game scenario, habits and fundamentals of the crew. That's why we look at things. But let's go back. Let's go back in time. And let's review play number 1. What did you have on this play? Let's take a look back at play number 1. All right, we're back at Dort. Dort, a favorite venue for Chris Janish, who submitted the play. Much appreciated. A great play for review, right? When we analyze our game video, we're always looking at what we're looking at, right play, right time, etc. We feel we're in great position to make a call, but for whatever reason, we've made the wrong call. And we do have the wrong call in this situation. This is an offensive foul by a player extending their leg into the path of an opponent, and the extended leg causing the opponent to trip and fall. These are all factors in our judgment on this play. Whether it's a defensive foul whether it is a no call or whether it is an offensive foul. We fall into one of those categories. In this situation, we get the call incorrect, in my judgment. And if I was watching my game video, what am I looking at? I was in great position. What could I have done better? What was I not looking at? Did I transfer my eyes quickly enough to look at the right things at the right time? So if we look at this play scenario, right, and we're looking at habits and fundamentals as a crew, right? Ball comes into the center's primary. They have a fantastic look on the play. They're in great position. We love this. We recognize there is a rotation by the lead. We know that we are becoming the trail, but we are in perfect position to officiate. We're not going anywhere, right? And then the play moves. This is our primary matchup as center. We have this. We're looking for illegal illegal defensive action here. We also have responsibility for the ball handler and their actions. Judge this to be legal, releases the pass, and now we're not in a great position. We didn't anticipate this action. We were focused on our primary coverage matchup, and now we're probably in a less than ideal position because we're too close to the ball handler. But this is where we are, and we have to work from here, right? Our defender comes flying. We see the first look was down towards the feet, right? Player's obvious. Then we have to get point of contact up top. We have to. This is where the play is, right? But after the point of contact, then we have to expand our view. And I think our proximity to the play here, we're just too close to, in the end, get our head back down to the subsequent leg contact. And we just have to go with, there was body contact after the fact. We didn't perceive specifically what we have, right? Head is definitely up at this point when the leg contacts occurs, and we're just have to go with peripheral understanding of what happened. I know there was body contact down low. I'm always going to defer that contact is going to be a defensive foul unless I know something different occurred, right? That's going to be the default, right? But we just don't have the look that we need on this play. We're not able to go from point of contact back down to the feet quickly enough, and that's probably due to proximity. And the situation just occurs to us, right? If we went back and we said, okay, wait a minute, how could I have done better, right? We're in this position here. We're in fantastic position. I would assume I know that a rotation has occurred. Whoops. That a rotation has occurred and that I am now the trail, right? I got a little T over my head. I know I'm the trail. I'm officiating this on-ball matchup, but maybe I'm going to drift a little further out because I'm going to still be able to maintain an angle on this play, right? Again, in retrospect, because we end up surprised by the shooter in the corner or on the sideline. Yeah. So, but when we analyze our game video, right, we see I was on the play. I had what I thought was a great angle. I was exhibiting all the habits and fundamentals that I normally execute, right? But I got the play wrong. Well, why did I get the play wrong? A lot of times when we look at plays, it's because of proximity. I was too close, right? We see that on end line out of bounds plays, where as lead, we're too close to the end line. It passes in front of us, and we don't have the ability to have the proper perspective on a play, right? So much appreciated that Chris Janish submitted this play. If you have a play for submission for 5 Play Friday, I will put a link down in the show notes below, and you could submit your play. We're always analyzing all of the things when we look at plays. Call correct, call incorrect, habits and fundamentals, so that we can get better as basketball officials. Much appreciated and much love, Chris. Thank you for that. And I'm going to go back to here because, Ooh. Boom. Oh, I was wrong. Hey, thanks, Billy. I appreciate that. So we can make the determination, not just about a last second shot on the previous play scenario, but also whether it was a 2 or whether it was a 3. I did not know that. Greg, I don't think there was a travel on this play. I think the ball's gone by the time the pivot foot returns to the floor. Certainly too close in real time. Chai Day has offensive. Kamali has traveling on the passer. I disagree. I guess it depends on when you think the pivot foot. I know in NCAA men's, which this is, benefit goes to the ball handler unless it's obvious. Well, in this situation, Jason, you're between a rock and a hard place, right? The initial matchup, I think we're in between a rock and a hard place right here, right? Hey, God. Oh. I'm center. I know there's a rotation. My first reaction here is going to be to drift up, right? I know I'm trail. There's no advantage for me to be gained to come down here or to stay here. I need to be aware of this secondary defender as well, who's potentially going to swipe down, right? So all this action here, I want to have this, I want to have an angle here, so I'm going to be moving here. How much we move, right, proves to be the key question. And when the ball comes here, we do not have time to make this move and get this look. I don't think we do, right? A lot of times, if this player had taken a further step here and caught the ball here, then I would definitely step down and try to get the look here. But I don't think we have that option here. It just comes at us too fast. That would be tough. It would be tough to come as a non-calling official on this play. Right? We do note that the lead, right? I am not a fan of this rotation to a static position here, right? This is not where I want to officiate this subsequent action from. For me, if I am lead, and I'm rotating here, I want to complete the rotation out at least this far so that I have a reaction, a better angle on subsequent action, right? And I'm also more present. I'm also mirroring the basketball. These are the coordinates that I don't like ever stopping here in a closed down position to officiate the game. Especially the game that's coming down the lane or the game that is on this side of the court. Boy, the telestrator's in action today. Gary, so again, this is a collegiate game. I do not believe this is going to be a traveling violation at the collegiate game. I have right foot pivot and release of the pass prior to the right foot coming down. That's me, what I see on this play. Adam, give me some more context on that question. Everybody wants to travel. Yes, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. But if we have an angle on the play, right, we'll have a bonus play where we can see that as well. The challenge is, especially at the collegiate level, we've got larger athletes. The point of contact is way up in the air. It's way up there, right? Let's look at our play. Right? Our point of contact on this play is here, right? Potentially a point of contact, wrist contact, a player swinging by. This is a long way up in the air. And then we have to look a long way down here. It's going to be, you can't go from here to here that quickly. Boo. Mike's got no travel. Yes, and obviously we have to make decisions and we just go from there. So I'd be interested to hear from Chris, if he's on, about his analysis on this play. To me, it's pretty straightforward. We're just too close. We've got there, and things will happen in our game. We will get to parts of the court and have a look at a play that is less than ideal, and we just have to officiate from there. And I would do the same thing in this situation. If I was in this position and was looking up at the point of contact and perceived contact down low, I would go with a defensive foul every time. If I moved my eyes from point of contact and had perception that my offensive player extended a leg, then I would have an offensive foul each and every time. But in the absence of seeing that action, we can't go under the assumption that they extended a leg. So that's what I have on that. That's what I have on that. It's that time of the show. What time? Time to look at a bonus play. Let's go. All right. Play coming in from Aaron Wall, a held ball situation and a technical foul for dead ball contact. Let's look at all the things on this play. Right, a great example of moving from center to trail. I think we moved from center to trail. Habits and fundamentals, positioning to have an open look, right? We are here, center official. We're in great position, just like on the previous play. We have an open look on a corner three-point matchup. We recognize we're looking at the right things. We perceive the lead coming across in this situation. Now, we know that we're trail in this situation, so now we can release and try to get an angle on subsequent action. Got to get a ball caught at the elbow. And the look is improving. Ideally, we'd be here to see that swipe down, but our center has that swipe down from there. Right? Our look. So again, what we've gained by taking this quick step back is perspective on the play. Right? The closer we are to this play, the less strong we are. Right? So this is a great habit and fundamental to get some distance from the players so we have a great look on the play. We do have arms entangled, player holding the ball. And then definitely we have the player who's actually not in contact with the ball after the held ball is ruled, extending their arms, displacing their opponent. Technical foul is assessed. Maybe moves a little bit too close to the player in that situation. Picking nits. right? But it's just business. That's a player technical, and we're going to go report, or we're going to go rather probably find our partner in the situation. This is just a meat and potatoes player technical foul. When we have a player technical foul, it's really straightforward what we're going to do. 2 free throws to the opponent, any player or eligible substitute, ball at the division line opposite the table. We do have a held ball situation prior. We may have some confusion at the table that we would have to address. They may think, oh, we're going to switch the arrow now. But obviously we're not going to use the arrow for a resulting throw-in, so there will be no change in possession. Now we also have behavior from a coach. Let's take a look at how our crew handles a coach who has some disagreement about the assessment of the technical foul or what have you. Very fashionable. Coming on to the coach, right? A partner does a great job. Coach, I need you back, right? That's perfect. Perfect. Recognizing the situation for what it is. So our crew does a great job of working together here. And it's a great clip for review, right? When we review clips, we're looking at all of the things. Again, every habit and fundamental exhibited by the center moving to trail here, I think, is perfect, right? I don't love the approaching the player and assessing. It just seems like the proximity is a little close, but again, we're picking nits. But that's what we do when we analyze our game videos. We're assessing all the things, and we are breaking things apart and looking at all the things so we can be better as basketball officials. Again, our calling official, a handout at the coach. Coach, a moment of displeasure, right? But nothing untowards. I just need you back in your box, coach. I had that just the other night, right? In my playoff game, late game situation, confusion about whether a team I informed the coach he has 0, and he's like, no, I have 1. We go to the book, we're sorting things out. Coach comes over to the table to plead his case. What are we doing in that situation? Coach, I need you back in your bench area. I will take care of this. Your input is not needed in this situation. Your information is not needed. We will sort this out. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do the through here. Don't understand why that doesn't work. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Oh, I'm sorry. Aaron is in the chat and says, yeah, but is that the important part of this play? No, it's not, right? And so that's, but again, we're looking for all the little things, right? When we analyze our game video, so we can get better, right? And if we can see somebody else do something and say, no, and recognize it for what it is, we can polish our game and get it better. We've got clapping by opponents, right, as a result of the technical foul, but this is not directed at the opponent. It's, we want to be aware of that. If White in this instance turned to red and was clapping in her face, that's on you, right? We might have something different. Let's take a look. I think everybody on White clapped, but nobody did it. Soccer highlights. Everybody's loving traveling on that previous play. Let's yeah, okay. All right, where are we at? We are at 1 hour and 52 minutes. Okay. Let's look at another bonus play. play is rich, I tell you, in all of the things, right? This is great. Love looking at plays, love looking at all the things. Where shall we start? Okay, so we have a foul ruled on Black for action while the players were on the floor. Okay. We've got a crew that comes together, right? Was there a contentious situation on the floor and that resolved? But there was a contentious situation on the floor. There was a little get off me energy in the after the players got up. Are we as a crew behaving correctly in terms of observing what happens as the players move down the floor? I think our old lead, new trail. We have two officials come together. They, get distracted by the basketball, etc. We could improve that and be aware, at least be aware of what's going on with the players on the court. I don't think this was a send them to their bench situation, right? But we have a foul ruled on Black. It's not a bonus situation. Was it a team control foul? Did Black have possession of the ball? The ball got loose, right? This is something we have to be aware of. This is a shot clock state, right? There is a shot clock involved. So we have to be aware if there was a change of possession. That's something we're looking at as well. Player shooting the basketball while it's dead. Can you do that? We're looking at all of the things. So let's take a look at the play. Right, coach has a question about the play. Brief explanation and go, I'm sure, after the fact. Throw in. Right, we've got there our inbounder, often the key part of any throw-in play. Unobserved by the lead, he's going away from this action and following the ball, which would be in the trail's primary. Ball gets loose. Is there ever a change of possession here? Does Black have team control? Now White has team control. Does White travel? These are the judgments we have to make. Did the White pull Black on top of him? Is this a held ball situation? Is this a foul? All of the things, but a foul is ruled. Our calling official, recognizing we've got players on the floor, that always raises antennas, is looking to get proximity on the play, right? Who's got what? Who's got what? I need to get in. I need to get a look, right? And in the end, that's our ruling. That's neither here nor there, right? But all of the things on this play. So we have to make a judgment, right? I call this sort of like the twilight zone. When the ball gets loose and we have a resulting foul, we have to be aware this could possibly be a team control foul. If it had gone the other direction, that would affect whether we shoot bonus free throws or not. But being aware of who last had team control, it's critical in shot clock states. Something we have to be aware of. I think we could have done a much better job here at the end as a crew managing this conversation while tension released and players moved down the floor. That's what I have on that play. Three seconds. You, and you. Greg has a travel. Oh, let's get rid of that. Greg has a travel. Guess it's a question of what happened first. I guess it's also a question of how did the defender get there? Was White pulling them over with them? Billy Mack says, it wasn't a dunk. Doesn't have to be. Lost Lake says player control foul on White, right? So that brings up the question, because I think White definitely had control. If we say that Black had control, White definitely regained control after. Definitely? Did he? Let's take a look. Ball's loose. Black team control. Black team control. Black team control. Black team control. White team control. He's definitely holding the basketball as he rolls over. But that's something we have to know. We have to know whether or not there had been a change of possession. If White did not have team control and White was in the bonus, would we shoot bonus free throws? Right? That's why this play becomes so rich, is that factor has to get layered on as well. If it had been a foul on White, would we have shot bonus free throws? What would the shot clock number be if we were not shooting bonus free throws? All of these things. Yes, you can see Chris obviously shared that and was like, well, there's two things that the center official behavior says is I need to see, right? It's a searching for finding a look on the play that we don't see from the other officials, that urgency, but then also once those players are on the ground, right, getting in with proximity. Of course, my fight scenario happened on a play where, it was a held ball situation, and in spite of going in quickly, was unsuccessful. Jacob's in the house. Good to see you. Excellent, Billy. The unpenalized rule. Apparently it's neither, Dave. But in the absence, like Mike says, his perception is this is something. But in the absence of actual knowledge that it is, yes, we're leaving that alone. If we do not know specifically what any penalty would be, obviously this is... Huh. Okay. All right, so I guess it is potentially a player technical foul for shooting the ball during a dead ball. There is knowledge, yes. Does it fit the game? Yes. Is that what we want to be doing in this game? Okay, do I have another? Of course I do. We got another bonus play. Oh, okay, let's go. Live stream only. Well, since it's live stream only, call correct, call incorrect. One look, real time. What do you got? Is this a backcourt violation? Not easy on the first viewing. Call correct. Don't necessarily enjoy making this call as the trail in plays like this. This should belong to the center. Mike stepping up, making a call. That was my first reaction as well. But as we could see from the slow motion replay, she does contact the basketball prior to putting the foot down. But is contacting the basketball sufficient, right? In a play situation such as this, we have team control on the court. We have a player who contacts the basketball with front court status. Whether she jumped and caught the ball in this situation does not matter. And then lands in the back court. We've got dark shoe, dark court covering, right? But if we're looking at habits and fundamentals as a crew here, we're trying to see who should have had this call. Our center official. We are relatively in an end-of-game situation. Not close. Pressed by White. What's our trail involved with? He's involved with this. Where is our center official? We would expect them to be pretty much, I would say, here, right? We've got a secondary defender potentially in a press situation, but not where they ultimately are, which is somewhere down here, right? And as we saw on the previous, the end of game situation where the 3-point goal was recognized as a 3-point goal, crew officiated the game all the way to the end, right? This game is pretty much decided. I think it was, an 8-point lead with a minute and 20 remaining. It's, certainly the team has the opportunity to come back, but right, we would want this call from the center official, but we get it from the trail. It is correct. It's close. Yeah. Good call, Joe. Where's the C? The passer has backcourt status. Yes. Yep, that was my first impression. I don't know what that refers to. Yeah, it is very close. It is, sort of a gotcha, but, from our angle, our camera angle, we see dark foot and dark court, and it's, less obvious at game speed. Yep, I'd say that's takeaway here. We'd want better position as a center. And we really, just want to stay engaged in the game here. Again, it's easy to think, I think what we have in our game situation is 8-point game, both teams in the bonus, 84 seconds remaining in the game. It is possible for the visitors to come back and win this game. It is, but when we feel that games are a little out, a little towards decided, we may relax and not officiate the game with the same energy as if it was 42. Oh, wait a minute. Our black team is ahead by 12. I was misreading that. Oh, interesting. Wait. Pirates are the home team. Eagles are the visitors. We've got a call on the visitors. Good. Yeah, that's just too disconnected as the center. It's too disconnected for me, for my sensibilities. I certainly wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to display that energy in this situation in my game. Lost Lake would give the benefit of the doubt. Now remember, black is up by 12. We don't want to miss anything, any violation by black or Foul by Black. Mike, when she contacted the ball, she had front court status. But again, on first viewing, that's not the impression. I was thinking it was, I don't know. It doesn't matter where the left foot is. If the player jumped from the front court, I mean, let's just look at the play on its merits. What is the status of the player? Is she in the front court? Does she have front court status? Yes, clearly. She have front court status? Does she have front court status? Yes, clearly. Does she have front court status? Yes. And then she puts the foot down. It didn't matter that her left foot was down first. At no point in the sequence does she gain backcourt status until, right, that would be sort of a takeaway here. At no point does she gain backcourt status until after she has the basketball. Then she gains back. Up to that point, at each frame of the video, she has front court status. Yes, we're so good in super slow-mo. Mike's confused. All right, he's fighting for it. Okay, let's take a look. For Mike Connors, does she have something touching in the backcourt? Does she have something touching in the backcourt? Does she have something touching in the backcourt? Right, we see from the, I mean, are you thinking that her toe is down when she contacts the basketball? That's not what I see viewing. If she did, then it would be a legal play if she had her right foot down. And do we have a technical foul on our cheerleader here? Bottom of the heel? No. I mean, the toe touches first. Okay, so Mike thinks the toe was down. Perfect. Then it would be an incorrect ruling. That's not what I see. It's a close play. Is it obvious? We see from the subsequent timing, in my mind, that it is obvious. But if she had a white shoe, it would be a lot easier. Or if there was no logo. Whoops. Oh. Poor editing. All right, Aaron's got another play. Poorly edited on my part to include that, yeah. No, wait a minute. That wasn't me. That was the tech team. I think there's an illegal screen on this play. That's pretty obvious. But we're looking at habits and fundamentals. Obviously, nothing was called. We're working in a state that has gotten rid of that ridiculous NFHS switch tableside official mechanic. Right? So when the play comes towards the lead, takes a step back, again we're gaining perspective in this situation. We don't want to be moving when we make calls, but at the same time, sometimes we perceive I need a bigger view on this play. To me, that contact by a moving opponent on the screen rises to the level of a bad screen. It causes the hips of the defender to move, and they become disconnected with the ball handler. Definitely has an impact there. Our reporting on the play, super businesslike, just like go to the call. Did we move away from our player on the, from the spot of the foul a little quickly? I'd say we did. We don't end up having any action after the fact. Right, we got a displaced player. Black comes in. Nobody from white is there as part of the mix. Right, doesn't prove to be anything. Right, if we look at the habits and fundamentals by the trail official, let's see. Okay, we can do it with the live, right? So what are we looking at here? This is a dual coverage area. Trail. Can't tell if the center's looking. Right? Ball settles here. I would definitely step down to get this look and stay sideline adjacent. I know many officials want to step onto the floor and get this look. I don't recommend it. But I know that many do, especially in two-person. They end up, many officials like to officiate from this intersection of the volleyball lines. But we're stepping onto the court. Potentially two official play. If I'm center, I'd want to come get that. Nothing going on in the center's primary here. Two non-competitive matchups. Lead could get that as well. What do we have here? Defender definitely does a little back. Our defender definitely seems to be legal before the player goes airborne. Displaced, took the charge. Charge is ruled. Love it. Love it. Don't know why that edited version is so poor. Fair enough. It's an end of game situation. I don't know if there was a subsequent game that was going to happen on that one previously. Adam, I agree with you. C has the best look on the screen. The screen action, I'd say either does. Neither center or lead has anything in their primary right here. But the center can see the displacement on the hips. Good point, Billy. I always emphasize that pregame. First half, bad screens, get them each and every time because the coach will not miss. That's what I have on that. Thanks, Aaron, for a second play scenario. So earlier we had a kick out by the offensive player that wasn't observed. Let's take a look at the bonus play with another one. All right. So different on this play is we don't have displacement. We don't have the defender on this play basically not able to continue playing basketball like we did on the previous trip, right? So does this rise to the level of a foul on the shooter, the extended leg? Is it unnatural? And then we have the subsequent action by the player in the face of the official disagreeing with the call, right? They may feel they were justified in disagreeing with the call. There's no, assuming that language is not an issue, there was nothing untowards physically, directing, hand gestures or disgust or anything like that, right? I think we have a travel prior. I think our home team is Barron Collier. They're up by 26 late in the game. We don't want to miss anything by a team ahead. Right. Let's take a look. Did we travel first? Yeah. I mean, we got left foot pivot on the catch, or do we? Let's take a look. Left foot steps with the right. Yeah, subtle. Might even have been some arm contact. No. Right. But we have a little better perspective on this play. Don't want to miss something on white. If that player had said anything on them like you or anything like that, definitely an opportunity to assess a T there. But that is an unnatural motion by our shooter in this situation, the extension of the leg. Right? You see the feet come together in a natural shooting motion, and then there's the extension of the leg. You see this is much more prevalent these days. Great reason to stay with shooters. Stay with shooters. Dave's got Flop City. I agree, Joe, but it's, yeah. So there's 4 minutes to go in a 30-point game. Are we going to fight to get the traveling, which is, kind of, it's obviously something potentially happening, but do we know, could we say with right here, which is the pivot? Yeah, I could. Right. So this is a situation. So Mike's pointing out, right, like we either have there is no call on the play because of the action by the offensive player, the shooter, or we have a offensive foul, or we have a defensive foul. And this could certainly be, since it did not cause the defender to fall to the floor, they basically end up in the same place they would have without the contact. So we could say this was incidental contact on the shooter. We could say this was a foul on the shooter, or we could say in this instance, erroneously, it appears, that it was a foul on the defensive player. Again, it's a 26-point game with 4 minutes remaining. We don't want to miss anything by white. Again, our distance and proximity, we're looking up top. It's really close. The defender's very close to getting the basketball. Did they get the arm on the shot? We're focused up high. Do we get a chance to get down and see that the extension of the leg was illegal by the shooter? It's going to be a challenge. Oh, there's definitely contact after the fact, as we could see by the reaction by the white player's body. Right, how they, basically are kicked out a little bit. Mike's got no travel. Yeah, cool. All right. Do I have one more play? All right. What are we? 2 hours and 24 minutes. Man, we're out of plays. Come on now. I can't be here all day. God. Phone's blowing up. Go to work? What? Huh. Okay. All right. Pete, I think Pete is a little behind in the live stream. So Adam on the previous play, what does Adam have? End of game, large point lead, high certainty on violations, right? So that would apply to the a little bit to the previous backcourt play. It would certainly apply to traveling in this situation, and it would affect our decision making about the shots potentially. We don't want to err on the side of the team we don't want to err on the side of the team that has the big lead, just from a game management point of view. And we don't want to miss anything on the team that has the big lead, right? Even the little stuff. If we get it in a big lead situation, Clarence, illegal screen, that's the previous play. Adam, maybe. Yeah, so if anybody wants to submit plays, there's two options. One is clip the play, and the other is if it's on the NFHS network, just simply give me the team names and a time of the game, and I can pull it. Sometimes I can get better video quality than you can in your clip that you send me. So, that's a positive that I have that. Don't know if I've clipped it yet, Adam. We don't. What? Air? I don't air. Especially if you ever saw me play. I don't air. Tremendous. All right, we got to wrap this up, baby. We got to wrap this up. I got work to do. My tech team did not prepare for me my coffee and end screen and all that stuff. I'm going to have to record that after the fact. So much extra work. Ay. All right. Well, I have a playoff game on Saturday. I have that's all I have. And then my state games are coming up as well, right? Obviously, we're trying to be our best at this time of year. We're trying to stay with the game all the way through, right? Taking care of every little detail. Again, doing so in games that are not competitive keeps us prepared to do it in games that are super competitive, and the little details are going to have an impact on the game, right? That's what we try to do here as we look at plays, right? It's just fun to look at plays, but we are trying to get better as basketball officials, and we could do that best by analyzing our game video. I appreciate everybody joining the live stream today. Yes, that is definitely a San Francisco accent. Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, I'm going to let everybody go, as I like to do. I got business to take care of. Keep your games safe and fair if you got them. And if you don't, start preparing for next season. Yeah, baby. All right. Take care, everybody.